Alright, so on the internet, there's some tech enthusiast that claims that Linux revives your old computer. So I decided to test this claim using this desktop computer. This is the Dell Dimension 8200, a desktop computer by Dell from 2002. This mostly definitely counts as an old computer, and therefore we'll be installing Linux on it. So we're gonna go ahead and power it on. Oh, and this drive is open. That's so cool. Wow. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm using Plop Boot Manager because the system actually does not support USB boot because it uses USB 1.1, which is really slow. But I don't have a CD nor a floppy disk to fit the distro in. Yep, it works. I'm gonna... Oh, that's good. The keyboard stops working as I boot into Linux. Awesome. Well, looks like we won't be using this Dell keyboard. Alright, we'll be using this ancient HP keyboard instead. Alright, so, this drive closes. Okay. Alright, now it works. We're gonna go to regular install instead of a graphical install because, well, considering how old this thing is. Alright, is it working? I see a blinking cursor right here. This does not indicate. Oh. Oh, okay, so it works. Cool. Language. English. Location. Actually, let me skip that. As you can see, we're using Debian for this example. Specifically, Debian 12, because, well, Debian 13 drops support for 32-bit systems, so looks like we're going to be stuck with Debian 12 if you're going to use a 32-bit system. Does this driver not stop opening? I forgot this was an issue. Yeah, it just opened on its own. Just close. Please do not open. Ah, thank you. Boy, my favorite part, detecting network hardware. Assuming it'll work. Oh, it did. Root password. The password is going to be like 4 stars. Now for the username, I don't know, just user, I guess. Password. The password is going to be the same as root, just 4 stars. Alright, which region am I in? Yeah, I don't live in the US. Whatever, central. Guided, use entire disk. Which disk? Well, certainly not the flash drive. Instead, use the internal hard drive. All files in one partition, because what do you need to separate home? Alright, done. We're gonna have a 532.7 megabyte of swap. Okay. Go ahead, do that. Ready these changes? Yeah. Wow, it sure is taking a while to create an ESD4 file system for slash in partition number 1 in SCSI 1. Alright, now it's installing the base system from the flash drive, which will take a while because, as I mentioned earlier, this thing does not use USB 2.0. It uses something older, which is also slower. The system may anonymously supply the distribution to developers a statistic about the most used packages. You want to participate? I don't think I need to participate. Okay, configuring. It's now installed. Now what? Alright, we now reached the most important part of the installation. So here, you get to choose whatever desktop environment you want. Be it GNOME, XFCE, KDE, Cinnamon, Mate, or MAT. I don't know. You what? Forget it. This is all I need. No web server, no SSH, just a desktop. And we're going. This might take a while, because now it has to download it from the internet and install it, so... Wow, look how fast it's retrieving files. 2 minutes? Alright, it's finally finished. It took so long I had to go away and do other things. Finally, it's finished. Now it has to clean up, and then it'll automatically restart. Request the system reboot. Alright, now I can just unplug the flash drive. And it's a Dell again. Ow. What do you mean grub i36 PC normal.mod not found? Even after a restart, it does the exact same thing. So apparently, boot grub i36 PC normal.mod does not exist. What is this noise? What's this drive doing? Okay, so after a long time, It's successfully installed. And this is the result. It can't boot because it can't find this file. Awesome, now I can use my PC. Oh wait, now it's useless. Come on, just try to fix the issue or something. Yeah, unfortunately, now I have to take the hard drive out of this thing and just diagnose the issue. Oh great, using this laptop to diagnose the issue, and it just blue screened. Alright, so what I was trying to do is use a virtual machine to see if it can boot from this hard drive. Because this is a Windows laptop, not a Linux laptop. And it works. That's even weirder. It works here, but not here? What? Alright, I'm back. So, long story short, reinstalling it did not fix it. So I ended up downgrading to Debian 11, which is also older. In fact, the last release of Debian 11 is from 2024. And now it works. Though I have to fix yet another issue, is the fact I'm using a serial mouse. The solution was just install input, attach, and then type the serial port. And now I can use this serial mouse until I close it. And now I can no longer use the serial mouse. But that's not a huge problem since nobody uses that anymore. Except for me, because if you can see right here, I do use a serial mouse. Alright, so everything is now installed. It's pretty slow so far. In fact, I haven't even done one thing yet. And that was to install the fetch software. But most people used to install NeoFetch until the developer discontinued it in 2024 after not updating it for like 4 years. So people came up with alternatives such as FastFetch, but I don't know if it's even available on Debian 11. No, FastFetch is not a thing. What about Screen Fetch? Oh, it is. Okay, well that's surprising. I thought it wasn't. The problem is solved. I don't need this setup anymore. Yo, check out my specs. Looks pretty cool. A Pentium 4, 512 megabyte of memory RAM, an ATI graphics card, a 200 gigabyte hard drive. Although it initially had a 40 gigabyte hard drive, but I didn't want to wipe that hard drive since I already installed Windows on it. So, also we're running Linux 5.10. I wish I could run more modern Linux, but unfortunately the people at Debian stopped supporting 32-bit systems. So the windowing is not as bad as I expected. Wait, are you telling me it's hardware acceleration? Why is there a battery icon? This is even a laptop. Okay, so the first thing that people do on their computer is browse the internet. So can this thing browse the internet? Let me pull out HTOP and see if it's installed. It's not installed, never mind. Currently the CPU is at 100% and swap is already in use. Alright, so far this is going great. I literally just opened Firefox. It took a minute to open. Welcome back. What do you mean welcome back? You love keep okay. Firefox is a free and open source browser. Does not mean you'll not have sponsors. But you can always disable it. Just go to settings. Our sponsor supports our mission to build a better web. But how? There's two websites that like to test on old hardware to see if they can still somehow browse certain websites. Well, first of all, as you can see right here, it is 4chan. Is it .org? I forgot. Oh wow, now checks if the site connection is secure. Oh, and it uses Cloudflare too. Wonderful. Verification is taking longer than expected. Check your internet connection and refresh the page if the issue persists. It's clear the system is not meant to multitask, especially with the memory and swap usage, and the CPU being stuck at 100% this whole time. Not only that, but the mouse is so sluggish. Alright, so since 4chan made the system seemingly freeze, I ended up switching to terminal mode and restarted from there. And now we're back. So if I press enter, because this time we're loading Wikipedia, because Wikipedia is also a lightweight website, at least it doesn't have this Cloudflare verification thing, which for some reason slows down the heck of this computer. Okay, so we seemingly have more success in loading Wikipedia.org than 4chan. on this 20-year-old system. Hey, I didn't see this eyes before. Anyways, what articles did I search for? I mean, it's really slow. I just typed 5 characters and it's currently processing. Ah, there we go. Now, if we press enter, are we gonna go to this exact article, or is it gonna show a search result? Alright, so we're in the Linux article. It's not finished loading, but I think it's a stopping point for browsing. Okay, so it seems like we have LibreOffice installed. So can we write a Word document? Wow, did you know you can go to Files, Print, Impress tab and select nodes of the document type to write a note? Okay, now to write a Word. Wow, this is surprisingly smooth. Oh, I disabled the numpad. This is surprisingly smooth when you start typing. What about loading fonts? Wow. It's bold, but it's already bold, so... Well, this is surprisingly way more doable than browsing the internet. Alright, next. Can it play a video? A video in 720p. Well, it can only produce a frame, while the video has like 30 frames to render in 1 second. So, how about a video smaller? Like, how about this one? Well, it does that better than this video, so I guess that counts, and audio works too. Alright, very last thing. Can you set an image as a wallpaper? Yes, you can. It works. Alright, that concludes it. Does Linux revive an old computer? Well, yeah, it does. But that doesn't mean it will make it faster. It's just the same old computer. It's gonna be slow, even if it's running modern software now. Even modern browsing is super slow, but everything else that doesn't involve the internet seems to be running fine. So, yeah, unfortunately I'm gonna have to conclude this video here because YouTube doesn't like it when new YouTube channels upload videos longer than 15 minutes. So, yeah, this is the whole video. These are the only tests I can do in like 15 minutes. I guess we're gonna shut it down.